We take you cross country from Syracuse, New York to Berkeley, California, where it has been a rocky week weather-wise. Fires have ravaged the northern part of the Bay Area, and some of the air quality has been greatly affected by those fires. But we have football to play tonight. Mike Leach and the Washington State Cougars are a top 10 team for the first time since 2003. Meanwhile, Cal, after a 3-0 start, is suffering through a 3-game skid, seeking a signature win back home at California Memorial Stadium. Our doubleheader continues. You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. 8th-ranked Washington State seeking its first 7-0 start since 2001, getting set to take on the Cal Golden Bears. And moments ago, Syracuse, with just its second ever victory over a top 2 team after beating #1 Nebraska all the way back in 1984, they take down the defending national champions. And with that, we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath. Friday the 13th continues with another unbeaten top 10 team on the road. Do we dare see another upset after what we just saw?
It's Friday the 13th. Who knows? Expect the unexpected. Anything can happen on a night like tonight.
That is incredible. What a win for Dino Babers. Meanwhile here, Mike Leach brings in a 6-0 Washington State team. What a start to their season.
Unbelievable. First time. They're trying to make go 7-0 for the first time since 2001, and they've got all the key components to be a real contender for the college football playoff. Great quarterback play, an outstanding fast defense, and excellent special teams. Mike Leach has got quite the squad coming in here tonight to Berkeley. And as far as Cal goes, what a start for Justin Wilcox. They roll out of the gates 3-0, but they've taken step backs the last 3 games, trending the wrong direction. What a great opportunity tonight against a top 10 opponent to get the ship righted and get back on track.
As we discuss, the wildfires, over 20 of them that have taken place here in the Bay Area, have greatly affected the air quality here in Berkeley, California. For more on that, we go down to the field and join Molly.
Well, Adam, both schools in the Pac-12 are closely monitoring this with the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and they'll refer to an air quality index that ranges from 0 to 500, 0 being safe, non-polluted air. And the NCAA suggests anything at or above 200 results in a delay or cancellation of game. And in the most recent reading, it was at 170. It's been fluctuating, but you can see on this map there is a front of dangerous, hazardous air perhaps heading our way. We'll be updated on that, and they're going to be updating that every 30 minutes. So we'll let you know, and they're going to be keeping a close eye on their players in this game as well, Adam.
Both teams are taking extra precautions. Some of the folks who work here in Berkeley are taking some extra precautions as well. Mike Leach, his family has ties to the Bay Area. His father, originally from Susanville, California, about 300 miles northeast of Berkeley, but his dad went to Richmond High School, about 10 miles northwest of here. Cal won the toss and deferred, so a high-powered Cougar offense will be on the field first. Gabe Shemyenyets will kick away for Cal. Renard Bell seeking space. Renard Bell with a flag down into the open field. 99 yards pending the penalty. What a start for the Cougs.
Excellent job in the open field by Renard Bell, but unfortunately, Adam, this one's coming back. Not 1 but 2 flags around the 20.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 90, half the distance to the goal, first down.
It's a holding penalty, but keep an eye out all night long. Cal's kick return defense has struggled over the course of this season. Daniel Aquale, the defensive lineman playing on special teams there, got tagged for the touchdown negating penalty.
Saw him with the right hand grab the defender, negating the big play. Luke Falk, this guy is skyrocketing up the Heisman Trophy watch list. Unbelievable patience in the pocket, accuracy, touch on the football, and he might as well be a coach because he knows this offense so well. Gets him in and out of the right play. Heck, he's even talking like Mike Leach these days.
From the 10-yard line, he'll give to Jamal Morrow. Big hit from Ashton Davis. He'll pick up 4 yards on first down. They get a lot of production from those running backs in different ways.
You know, so a lot of times you just look at rushing yards to see how your running backs are. Don't just look at rushing yards, though they are efficient running the football. The way they get the ball to the running backs, it's an extension of the run. And you got to avoid this guy, Devontae Downs, one of the best linebackers in the Pac-12.
Leads the Pac-12 in tackles. Falk doing a nice job of moving in the pocket, but James Looney shuts down the play for the Cal defense. It goes down as a sack, and it's third down.
It's good coverage down the field. Luke Falk bought himself a little bit of time. Good pressure, just a 3-man rush. Gets home. No one open down the field, and Luke Falk decides he's going to eat it and take the sack. This will be interesting, Adam. Talking with Tim DeRuyter. Like the pressure on downs like this.
Just a 4-man rush into a dangerous window, and Cameron Bynum has his first career interception.
Well, this is the start that Cal was dreaming about when this game began. Excellent job by Cameron Bynum. Zone coverage. Reads the quarterback's eyes and breaks on the pass. Gets the Cal offense in great position. Outstanding job on the break. Just zone coverage. He's sitting back. He's watching the quarterback. Great break in front of Renard Bell to get the Cal Bears in great field position.
Just the 3rd interception thrown by Falk all season. And for Cal, getting back to what they did so well early in the year, taking the ball away. Vic Wharton gets dragged down by Jalen Thompson. Now don't forget, this is a Washington State defense that has really made some noise across the country this year.
Call themselves the Speed D. They've sacrificed size for speed, and they can run at all 3 levels. Jalen Thompson, excellent job coming down from the safety position in the tackle for loss.
Ross Bowers, his receiver Jordan Veazey fell down, and it brings up 3rd and long. Ross Bowers had some turnover issues early, seemingly has cleaned those up.
He has, especially going back to the USC game. 5 turnovers in total. No picks the last 8 quarters. He's taking care of that. He's tough, man. He's taken a lot of hits. He's been sacked 15 times in the last 2 games, yet he continues to get up and answer the bell. Uncomfortable in the pocket, something they really worked on this week, staying in there and trusting his offensive line.
Bowers down the middle, complete. First down, Kanawai Noah. Did not play last week due to an unspecified injury. Man, are they happy to have him back. On the ground, it is Derek Clark, drilled by Derek Moore. 2nd and goal.
Big time throw here by Ross Bowers. Right up the seam, fits it in there perfectly to Noah, who gets just inside Marcus Strong, the cornerback, starting in place of Darian Moulton. Big time throw to get things started by Ross Bowers.
Vic and Wary hit by Frankie Louvu. Just a yard on the play. 3rd down and goal. Man, Cal does not want to waste this early opportunity.
We've seen Washington State's defense time after time this year get put in bad positions, yet come up with key stops. Will be a key stop here for Alex Grinch and his defense. When they get in the red zone, the coverage gets tighter, a lot of man-to-man coverage, and Alex Grinch not afraid whatsoever to dial up the pressure.
Bringing the pressure here. Bowers to the end zone, incomplete, looking for Noah, who wanted a flag. Frankie Louvu with a big-time application of the hit on Bowers.
This is an outstanding job looping inside by Frankie Louvu, and nobody is there to pick him up. Excellent game. and he comes clean, gets the big hit on Bowers, and forces the throw before Bowers wanted to get out of his hand. Excellent job by the Washington State defense, bowling their back and forcing the field goal.
From Matt Anderson, who gets Cal on the board first. Things have already gotten weird on a Friday night. Clemson going down early, and on Friday the 13th, maybe a little triskaidekaphobia in the air tonight. A 3-0 Cal lead to start. Since the FBS-FCS split in 1978, among teams that have played at least 50 top 10 opponents, Cal has the second worst record since 1978 at 152-1. Early lead for Cal. And Bernard Bell will take a knee. Underneath, easy pass to Jameer Calvin for 8 yards on first down. Nice back shoulder throw to Isaiah Johnson-Mack out near midfield.
Cal starting to dial up the pressure. Tim DeRuyter brings blitzes on both first down and second down. Luke Falk doing a great job identifying where it's come from. And as you mentioned, excellent back shoulder throw and good adjustment by Isaiah Johnson-Mack to move this.
And Jameer Calvin makes a great move in space. And then the ball comes free, and Cal scoops it up. Devontae Downs with the recovery. And the Golden Bears have their second takeaway. And Calvin is still down.
Early on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, California.
Wow, Jameer Calvin, the true freshman, does a great job making people miss. And how about 6? Jalen Hawkins comes in, knocks the ball loose, and Devontae Downs, Johnny on the spot, on top of it for the first quarter Cal takeaway. That's an excellent job by Jalen Hawkins. First defender comes, he secures the tackle. Second defender comes in, gets the ball out. Outstanding job getting the takeaway by the Cal Bears.
Devontae Downs, one of the superstars on this Cal defense, sets him up inside the 50. Third time in 4 touches that they start in plus territory. Great release by Gavin Reinwald. First and goal for Cal. And the Golden Bears want 6 right now.
Love the play action pass. The aggressive defense doesn't see the tight end slip out the back door.
And Wary ripped down by Justice Rogers. Second down and goal. They've already been down here before and had to settle for 3. This feels like in the recipe for an upset, you got to convert one of these.
Can't keep kicking field goals. You're exactly right, Adam. You've got to make these opportunities inside the red zone count, especially when you're starting with such quality field position.
And Wary bulldozing his way in for a touchdown. They called Vic Enweri a hidden gem in the state of Texas when he was being recruited. Now in his senior season, showing off the muscle for a touchdown.
I like the big man, Malik McMorris. Does an excellent job getting the kick out block, opening up the hole for Enweri. Look at the big man. Boom. Gets on the second level. Look at the physical running. That's a big man, Vic Enweri. 6 foot, 245 pounds, as he powers his way into the end zone. And Cal's on top. 10-0 early here in Berkeley.
Touchback, Molly.
Yeah, Mike Leach not so happy anymore. He told his team, you look like the worst offense in America right now. I'm not interested in excuses. Cal is playing their butt off. They look like a team. You don't look like a team. He told his offense to go out there and start playing together like a team.
Molly, this is a bit of a shocking start for a team that we've seen be so detail-oriented at both sides, offensively and defensively. They kind of look like they're sleepwalking early in this game, Dusty.
And I expected that a week ago in Eugene, which was the first time they had left Pullman. But they went into Eugene and handled business.
Yeah.
But here tonight, sleepwalking a little bit. They look a little disheveled offensively. We've got to give Cal a ton of credit for the defensive game plan that they've employed here tonight. See there, excellent job running to the football, great pursuit. And right now, that momentum, it's on the Cal Bears sideline.
Second and 9 from the 26.
Blitz off the edge. Falk calmly finds Isaiah Johnson-Mack, who's got the first down.
When we talk about the pocket presence for Luke Falk, Cal brings pressure off the edge. Watch this slight step. He just steps up, avoids the pressure, and finds his target for a nice pickup.
That looks like a veteran QB.
Very savvy back there in the pocket.
They love the shovel pass, and James Williams rumbles to the 41-yard line. Williams, one of the best in the country in terms of yak, yards after the catch. He leads all Power 5 players with over 430 yards. Part of that is him. Part of that is the offensive game plan as well.
Get the running backs the ball in space and make the defenders miss.
One of the top completion percentages in college football. Already over 2,000 yards passing this season. Luke Falk came into tonight trailing just Josh Rosen of UCLA and Tyler Rogers of New Mexico State in passing yards.
Leads all of college football at 19 passing touchdowns. And a big third down here for this Cougar offense.
Falk to the sticks for the first down to Kyle Sweet. This guy is a nice safety valve for Luke Falk.
It's his third down target. Probably got the best hands on the team. Excellent and efficient route runner. Knows where the sticks are. And it's a little option route. Nice job by Kyle Sweet.
Calvin holding on to that football this time as he works to the 30.
Two hands on the ball this time. A true freshman. You know what I like, though, Adam? Go right back to him. A lot of times, coaches, they'll lose trust in a player, especially a true freshman. This guy's starting to become a key cog in this offense, Jameer Calvin. Even though he fumbled a couple of possessions ago, they're still showing confidence and faith to go right back to him.
That's a great job to find the hole by Morrow. Downs on the stop to close quarter one. Washington State is averaging 40 points per game this year. Shut out by the Cal defense. And the Cal offense got going after a poor performance in Seattle last week. The fear of Friday the 13th? Paraskevidecatria-phobia. Come at me. And a big 3rd down and 2 for Washington State. To the flat for Morrow. Great pursuit by Devontae Downs and the rest of this Cal defense. Already one upset tonight. Number 2 Clemson, the defending national champions, go down at Carrier Dome. And tonight Cal with a 10-0 lead.
Watch Downs and the speed to the edge. A smart football player. He knows exactly where it's going, and he beats Morrow to the spot. Excellent job by Downs, making the play to set up a 4th and short.
4th down and 2, Wazoo. Cal blitzes. Falk throws. Complete for a 1st down to Tavares Martin. What a clutch throw and catch for 16.
This is exactly why Luke Falk is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He wants to go to sweet in the flat right now. It's not there. You see him just slide to his left. It makes an excellent throw. Tavares Martin, who climbs the ladder and picks up a key 4th down. Luke Falk now 7 for 7 on this drive.
Williams. And they'll blow the forward progress dead near the 3. Good run by James Williams. Washington State with plenty of miscues on their first 4 series. Much sharper thus far.
Prior to this drive, they had not converted a 3rd down. Had a key 3rd down conversion, and you saw a big-time 4th down conversion as well.
Williams dragged down. James Looney with the initial contact, and Downs finished it off for a loss of 8.
Watching Looney on the film, I'm a fan. This guy gets up the field, he penetrates, really flashes. Does an excellent job working on Cody O'Connell, the All-American. Just gets to an edge and gets up the field. A big-time tackle for loss, setting up a long 3rd and goal.
Four-man rush. Falk to the end zone. A flag is thrown. A touchdown. Tavares Martin, but we'll have to check the penalty marker as well.
Tavares Martin.
Pass interference. Offense number 8. 15-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Dusty, that's the 2nd Cougar touchdown that's been negated by a penalty. The kick return to open the game, and Martin's PI call here.
Tavares Martin is going to try to work to the corner of the end zone. Little push off in the back. Separation on Elijah Hicks. It's a great throw to the corner of the end zone and excellent concentration. But the extension created the separation by the receiver from the defensive back, and it's a good call by the official.
Falk is hit. Cameron Good with his first career sack. The redshirt freshman. This Cal defense has been impressive so far.
Talk about a change of momentum. A second ago from inside the 5. Out of the picture, you're going to see Cameron Good. Look at him flipping his hips, using his hands, continuing to rush the passer. Luke Falk has a tendency to hold on to the football too long. And Cameron Good, it's a nice sack.
So now a 52-yard try for Powell. What a kick. That ties his career long to get Washington State on the board. Dusty, they go though from 2nd and goal at the 3 to just putting up 3.
Turn of momentum there at the end of that drive. Washington State wanted 7, but the Cal defense bows its back and forced them to a field goal. We got a good one tonight here in Berkeley.
Still some high spirits here in Berkeley, California, despite the weather issues and air quality issues that they've faced over the course of these last 5 nights. Maybe a little bit of life being brought back to this campus with Cal on top early. We have our first 13 points of the night on Friday the 13th. Eric Powell ties his career long with a 52-yarder. Ashton Davis on the return for Cal. Out across the 30-yard line.
Well, it's been Cal's defense so far here this evening, forcing takeaways, good coverage down the field. A lot of sacks and pressure on the quarterback, Luke Falk. Swarming Cal defense all over the field this evening. They've got this Washington State high-powered offense puzzled, trying to figure out how to get back on track. Big credit, defensive coordinator Tim DeRuyter and his bunch.
Good catch by Gavin Reinwald, who's becoming a bigger threat on the offensive end in his true freshman season.
Just made that one-handed catch over the shoulder look easy. Effortless by the youngster.
Quick throw to Wharton. First down near midfield. Strong on the tackle in the open field.
Marcus Strong playing about 10 yards off of Vic Wharton, giving him a lot of cushion as Washington State brought a blitz. Good job by Ross Bowers identifying that, popping up, and quick pass to his target.
Bowers on the move and connecting with Noah. Out of bounds near the 35-yard line. $18-yard pickup for Bowers on the move.
Excellent accuracy, as you mentioned, outside the pocket on the move.
Quick out, caught by Reinwald. What did Mike Leach tell us this week? It's not about the effort that these guys are putting in, but what did he say about the execution last week, early in the game?
I think he said against Oregon it was like trying to do surgery with a chainsaw instead of a scalpel.
Not the cleanest play last week from Washington State early in the game. And that's starting to rear its ugly head at times tonight. A couple of good stops. Nnamdi Aguayo brings down Vic Enweri. 39 seconds to play. Ball at the 37-yard line. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Cal. And so far tonight, Washington State coming on the road for a 2nd straight week. This Cal team has looked so sharp through 1 half thus far. 3rd and 2. Open man, Noah. 1st down inside the 25-yard line. They do not have to use that timeout. 32 seconds to play in the half.
Ross Bowers has looked excellent tonight when they get him outside the pocket. They roll the pocket to his right. Very good route run by Kunavai Noah. Simple out route. Beats the coverage. Easy pitch and catch. That's about the 3rd time now we've seen excellent timing and excellent accuracy from Ross Bowers outside the pocket.
Late blitz from the Cougars. And down goes Bowers for the first time. We talk about Hercules Mataafa, one of the best defensive linemen in the country.
That's exactly what Alex Grinch was looking for. That's exactly what they needed. You like a first step? Watch this excellent first step by Mataafa getting off the football. He beats the guard before he ever gets out of his stance. And a great job grabbing the legs of Ross Bowers for the big sack.
The Pac-12 leader with 5.5 sacks, named after the son of Zeus, getting loose Mel Kiper says he is Washington State's best defensive player since Deone Buchanan. And that dude was a beast, and he's doing pretty well in the NFL. He was a first-round pick by the Cardinals a few years ago.
Well, he's undersized. I mean, this guy's 6'2", 245, 250 on a good day when he's had a big lunch. And this guy's mixing it up with the offensive guards and the centers. He doesn't recognize that he's smaller than the man across from him, and he uses excellent hands, excellent explosiveness, and an extremely disruptive force for this defensive line.
They double-team Mataafa this time. Bowers has a man downfield, and Jordan Veazey will hold on for the catch at the 20-yard line. This time, he delivers. He says, I got you, Ross Bowers. 3rd down and 6, and the clock stops.
That's got to help his confidence. Excellent job watching the ball into his hands, and he completes the process for a nice pickup.
Gets him back into field goal range. 3rd and 6, out route. Again Veazey, and again he comes down with it. Back to back to set up 1st down. No more timeouts for Cal with 11 seconds to go.
Veazey, a guy who, as we talked about, a lot of problems with drops. Excellent job catching the football and the toe tap on the sidelines for a nice catch.
Now again, because he went out of bounds, the clock stops, but no timeouts for Cal. So you either have to go to the end zone or you got to stay on the sidelines. Bowers underneath, and Weary trying to get to the sticks or out of bounds, and the clock will stop with 4 seconds to go.
Decision time for Justin Wilcox.
Do you go for the score in the end zone? Do you go for the field goal here?
I go for the score.
All right.
I'm at home. I got a chance to upset a top 10 team in my backyard. Going for broke.
Here we go. From the 1-yard line to close the first half. McMorris blocking. McMorris loose. It is caught by Kyle Wells. Touchdown, Cal. His first career catch is a touchdown at the end of the first half.
I love the play call. They've got Vic and Weary, the big 6', 245-pound running back, thinking power football. It's a play-action pass. They get the fullback Malik Morris out, and they get the tight end Kyle Wells out in the end zone. No one's home. Easy touchdown for the Cal Bears before the half.
How about that? The momentum all in the favor of the Golden Bears on the first career catch by Wells.
See Kyle Wells work his way out. No one stays with him, and Bowers off his back foot finds his tight end for a big touchdown.
Redshirt junior from Loomis, California delivers. Bowers is fired up, and we've got a good one in Berkeley. Adnan, Joey, Jesse, it's all yours. 79th meeting all time between the Cougars and the Golden Bears. It's been a fun one so far. 17-3, Cal on top as we start the second half. A bizarre first half. Washington State with miscue after miscue, and then Cal getting a touchdown on the final play of the half to go up by 2 full scores on the first career catch by Kyle Wells. 2 offensive scores tonight in the first half after the offense did not put up a single point against that stellar Washington defense a week ago. And the Golden Bears get the ball back to start half number 2. Adam Amin, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, glad you're with us on a Friday night for Pac-12 After Dark. Ashton Davis, not much of a return. He'll work out to the 11-yard line. This was the final drive of the half.
2 excellent catches by Jordan Veazey. Great concentration both on the sidelines. He had drops early, not here. How about the play-action pass? Finds his tight end, Kyle Wells, for his first career reception. And Ross Bowers likes it.
VZ to the 20.
Easy, starting to make it look easy catching the football. One thing I'll say, I expect Washington State to come out and play extremely well in the second half. Especially, I'm expecting improvement offensively from the Cougs.
Bo Baldwin, the offensive coordinator. Justin Wilcox, the first-year head coach, with Ross Bowers, the first-year starter at QB. Great job to bring down Enweri by Hunter Dale.
Yeah, Adam, I noticed Justin Wilcox is so calm on the sidelines. After his defense forced a turnover in the first half, he didn't celebrate. He didn't even crack a smile. He went over to his defensive players and started coaching them up and making corrections. He is so focused and so locked in, and that's what a lot of his players have said, is that he's just the same demeanor no matter what's going on the field.
Molly, I'm thinking about the halftime interview you just did with him like 15 minutes ago. They just went up 2 touchdowns. He was as cool as a cucumber getting ready for the halftime break. Deep shot from Bowers. It is caught by Wharton. What a throw and what a catch into Cougar territory.
That's a dime right there by Ross Bowers as he finds Vic Wharton. It's good pressure inside by Daniel Equale. And Ross Bowers stays in the pocket. He trusts his offensive line and drops a dime to his wideout.
And this time smartly gets rid of it. Now, to Molly's point about Justin Wilcox, he reminds me a lot of an NFL coach. NFL coaches have a tendency to not get too far up, too far down. There are certain NFL coaches that you deal with, they have a very level demeanor, and it almost seems like they're not moved emotionally by certain things. That's not to say that he's devoid of emotion, but there is a Belichickian feature to Justin Wilcox, that CEO that is very calm and knows how to delegate.
It's like the even keelness, right? As you mentioned, never too high, never too low, is always looking forward and ahead. How do we get better? How do we improve? And you mentioned delegate. The one thing that I loved about speaking with him, the collaboration he has with his coaches. He listens to all his coaches, not just his coordinators, takes all their opinions, all their advice, and then tries to formulate the best possible decision and steer the ship of the team in the right direction. That's what good quality leaders and good quality coaches do. That's Justin Wilcox.
Think about the guys that he's worked under when he was the linebacker coach here. That's Jeff Tedford. When he was the DC at Boise State, that's Chris Peterson. At Tennessee, he said that Derek Dooley was the most organized coach that he ever worked under. You go back to Washington and USC under Steve Sarkisian, a great offensive mind to counter the defensive-oriented Wilcox. And then he could not say enough good things about Paul Chryst, the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, whom he served as defensive coordinator under a year ago. His offense's drive just stalled, and Washington State trailing by 14. Let's see what Mike Leach and Luke Falk have in store for us when you come back to Berkeley. You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN, a little Pac-12 after dark on a great doubleheader tonight. Clemson, Syracuse earlier tonight, Cuse with the upset. And now 8th ranked Washington State out of the locker room trying to get the offense going. Garen Brown, the redshirt sophomore, the former Washington Husky, checks in. Wide open, Kyle Sweet, first down, out across the 40-yard line.
Well, it's a crossfire blitz by the linebackers, and it's going to open up the middle of the field, and Kyle Sweet just replaces an excellent job identifying it by the quarterback, Luke Falk.
Underneath to Morrow. Jamal Morrow gets the block, and Morrow taken down inside the 20-yard line. This Cougar defense can get going fast. How about the block by Brandon Arconato?
Well, Jamal Morrow, excellent job in the open field and a huge block by Brandon Arconado. And this Washington State Cougar offense has come alive to start this second half.
Their best play at 43 yards. A bad shovel pass, and it is going to be ruled Cal football. This may have been picked up before it hit the ground.
First down.
That could be an interception, and if it is, and it seems to be, Raymond Davison III has just given Cal its 4th takeaway.
Well, my apologies. I thought the ball hit the ground.
Raymond Davison III, 42nd career game, 2nd career pick. And it comes at an awful time for Mike Leach's offense.
The shovel play is a staple of what Washington State does. And Luke Falk, there wasn't much separation between James Williams and Luke Falk, and it's high and behind his running back. Poor execution once again by the Cougar offense.
He has 3 picks tonight after 2 the entire season coming in. Wharton near the sticks. Sean Harper back in, makes the tackle. Big time play for Davison. He has been the spark a couple of times this year for Cal's defense. This is a Cal team that had to come back a lot early in the year for their victories. First down.
'99 Malik McMorris on the last play. A pancake by the big fullback / tight end. Opened up that hole for Vic and Weary.
How big's this dude again?
5'11", 285.
Oh,
he's a bowling ball and a heck of an athlete.
Bowers, Noah. Down to the 25-yard line.
That's an excellent throw by Ross Bowers just over the underneath coverage. And he finds Noah.
Noah with a drop. Is that going to be considered an incomplete pass? Still waiting for somebody to see.
They're marking it as a catch fumble.
Yeah, they are. Wow. That's the first Cougar takeaway. They're certainly going to take a second look at this.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch and a fumble recovered by the defense.
My guess is it's going to be an incompletion. Did not seem like he fully possessed the ball before he let it go. Now, I think this is going to be overturned to be an incompletion. I never saw a football act, a football move.
After further review, the pass was ruled incomplete. It'll be second down. Clock operator, please put 5:56 on the game clock, please.
The collaborative replay effort from San Francisco tonight has been very solid on a couple of tough calls. But man, Washington State could have used that one.
They need it. And you know, this is who Washington State is. They're a team that gets takeaways. They play fast, they play aggressive, but so far this evening hasn't translated into takeaways.
Wary, good run near the 30.
Malik McMorris just continues to punish Washington State defenders.
3rd and 3. Wharton, end zone. Had the space and kind of frustratedly flicked the ball out of bounds. I don't know if he did that on purpose or not, but he was ahead of his defender.
Looked like a slant and go. And Wharton had the coverage beat by 27 Sean Harper, but Ross Bowers unable to locate his wide receiver.
Well, you're kind of in no man's land if you're Bo Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Cal. Plus,
well, I guess Cal's electing to try to take the points and going for the field goal.
This should tie a career long for Matt Anderson from 48 yards. How about that hook to make it a 3-score lead? Justin Wilcox's team comes away with points. Robert Taylor. To the 21-yard line.
While we were trying to figure all that out, Cal with a big sack on first down.
Their 7th of the night. And it was Kanashik.
Kanashik's having a well of a second half here.
Falk under pressure again. Does a nice job of getting out of it and finding Tavares Martin. Still 3rd down and long coming up here.
That was a good job by Luke Falk. I really liked what Tavares Martin did. He saw that his quarterback was in trouble. He broke off his route. He worked back to the quarterback to give him a good target and nice outlet to at least pick up a decent gain to make it 3rd manageable. Cal showing pressure. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. See if they bail.
They're bringing some pressure, and Falk goes down again. It's Downs' replacement, Garen Brown. His first career sack. What in the world is happening to this offensive line tonight?
Well, you're going to see 3 defenders working over here. It's an excellent job getting up the field, and he's going to wrap. And it's outstanding job on the blitz by Garen Brown to get home and pick up another Cal sack.
That is 8 sacks against one of the better offensive lines in college football. And now Cal's got the ball back with a 3-score lead. This has to be one of the toughest nights that Luke Falk has seen in a couple of years. And this Cal defense, you said it earlier, Dust, they came to play tonight for Tim DeRuyter.
Highly motivated. They were a bit embarrassed, I think, by what happened against Washington a week ago. They felt that they were never really in the contest. They've been in the contest from the onset here this evening, and it's been the play of that defense that has really been the catalyst for this Cal Bear team this evening.
Now, Justin Wilcox had a great start to his tenure as a head coach. 3 games won to start his head coaching career, just 40 years of age. But then he said, I didn't see the consistency. I saw flashes from those first 3 weeks, but I didn't see the consistency that I needed. Granted, against a very good schedule. But right now, these Golden Bears are playing as well as they perhaps have all season.
Well, the defense has been completely changed from where it was a year ago. They've come in, they went from a 4-man front to a 3-4 front, and they're really just trying to implement these principles, and it's the attention to detail. We talked with Justin Wilcox, we talked with Tim DeRuyter, we talked with some of the players. The attention to detail that they've put in since all the way back in the spring has really paid dividends, and it's showing itself here this evening.
Jordan Duncan on the grab. All of that being said, we still have a full quarter to go. It is a 3-score game. If Washington State is going to get back in a hurry, and by the way, they've done that before this year, how do they do it?
Getting stops on defense. That's where it starts. A takeaway. You referenced that they've done it before is against Boise State at home, down 21. And what? It was a Pelluer pick 6 that really got them back into that game. Pelluer obviously not with them anymore out for the season, but it's going to take stops on defense, potentially a takeaway. And this Washington State offense has got to come to life. I expected them to when the second half started. Had a couple of chunk plays, which turned into a turnover. They can't give Luke Falk any time, and they can't keep from turning the football over when they possess it so far this second half. So a lot's got to change, but I agree wholeheartedly. This one is far from over here in Berkeley, and I'm by no means counting the Cougs out yet.
Final minute of the third. 3rd down for Bowers. And Noah converts.
Doesn't he just look very comfortable outside the pocket? When they roll pocket, to me, that's when he's really been at his best. I think a huge bounce-back game for Ross Bowers tonight. He really struggled the last two, and it worked them all week. They tried to work on his confidence, his trusting of the offensive line. And we've seen here this evening, whether it's been from within the pocket or him working outside the pocket, the confidence is coming back. The accuracy has been here this evening.
102 straight passes without a pick for Bowers. And Wary to the 28-yard line. And that may be the final play of a strong three-quarter performance so far from the Golden Bears.
That's the end of the third quarter.
One upset in the books in Syracuse, New York. Across the country, what's in store for quarter four? We're back to Berkeley after this. Welcome back to college football prime time as part of Dos Equis Tailgate Week. A good one through 3 in Berkeley. Vic Enwari's got a hole. And Vic Enwari is inside the 5-yard line.
We've been talking about Malik McMorris. He's going to fake here and come back here. Man, he does an excellent job getting a kick-out block and open up a big hole for Vic Enwari.
Not much there this time. Good penetration. Garrett McBroom.
Seems like with a 17-point lead, fourth quarter, when you've got a 6-foot, 245-pound running back, you expect him to get the ball quite a bit here to close out a game. They used play action earlier before the half for a touchdown.
And Wary, good penetration by Mata Afa. And Wary still battled his way to get back near the 6-yard line.
Derek Moore, Hercules Mata Afa, excellent job with penetration, getting the negative play.
Big third down and goal here. If you get a touchdown and an extra point, it's still a 3-possession game, but man, that's a lot of pressure to get multiple 2-point conversions. Huge third down and goal.
For Wharton up top isolated.
Bowers trying to run it for the score. Airborne touchdown! For the first time in his career, Ross Bowers runs it in for a touchdown and does it in jaw-dropping fashion. My goodness.
Wow.
You will not see a better play in college football this weekend.
The Cal fans are stunned. I think Washington State's a little stunned. And Ross Bowers, a man who needed some confidence, makes the play of the day as he goes airborne. A complete flip into the end zone, and Cal continues to roll here in Berkeley.
Washington State down 27-3, and Luke Falk told me he's not a vocal leader. He'll only yell when he needs to, and he just ran up and down the sideline telling teammates, we have been here before. You gotta believe. And the Cougars with 6 come-from-behind wins when trailing in the 4th, guys.
That's behind Luke Falk. Now, when they came back against Boise State this year, Tyler Holinsky took over at QB because Falk got knocked out of that game. At one point was pulled and then was injured. But now Luke Falk, the veteran quarterback, needs to make some magic happen. It is still a 3-possession game, but a lot of pressure on Falk.
You got to have a successful drive here, and you kind of need to do it in a timely fashion as 3 scores, 3 2-points. Tick-tock, tick-tock. That clock's moving.
Morrow. And the Cal defense with Malik Songs penetrating gets the stop on first down.
I got to tell you, there's an element of me that's just stunned.
A little bit in shock right now.
And it's a credit to this Cal defense as much as anything.
Morrow on the release. Open field tackle by the freshman out of Long Beach, Elijah Hicks. Third down coming up. Ranked teams getting tested this weekend. A ranked team on a neutral site, still with its college football playoff hopes hanging in the balance. Oklahoma getting set to take on Texas as part of the 112th Red River Showdown. ESPN 3:30 Eastern and the ESPN app tomorrow. All day for Falk. Incomplete, looking for Martin. 12 minutes to go. And Washington State has to punt after a 3-and-out.
Well, Luke Falk's been under a lot of pressure tonight. Not pressure there. It's a good job by the offensive line. He's been off, though, Adam. Throwing behind receivers at times. Just not quite as sharp, not quite as accurate as I've grown accustomed to watching Luke Falk.
Powell will kick away. Wharton made contact with it. Thought initially the Bears rescued it, and they did.
That's the break Washington State needed right there.
Yeah. If they could have gotten that, that would have been huge. A Berkeley campus rich in tradition, but this is one of the new ones. This is a sphere that a lot of students will rub before they have to take an exam. They're calling it the 4.0 ball in reference to their GPA. Meanwhile, Cougar fans who have made the trip down from Pullman already headed for the exits. As they're 6-0 Cougars, top 10 for the first time since 2003. I ran into a buzzsaw of a Cal defense tonight.
Could have used a 4.0 ball back in college. Have those around the Oklahoma campus.
Oh, I would have loved it if I went to class more often, but can't have everything we want, Dustin.
You know all these big words, and you're educating America every Friday night. Don't act like you're not educated. Come on, man.
Harvard of Northwest Indiana, Valparaiso is very proud right now.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm expecting a heavy dose of Vic and Weary right now. Up 24th, 11 to play.
And a lot of single-digit numbers on the play clock when the snaps come. First down to the 42-yard line, and Vic and Weary has 100 yards tonight. Frigatriscadecaphobia. Nice job by our crew trying to trip me up one last time.
Frigatriscadecaphobia.
It's not that hard when you break it down into 4 parts.
By the way, fear of Friday the 13th. Get over it, people. Just another day on the calendar. Goodness gracious.
I love it, brother.
Right?
Hey, there's some good traditions out there. Some good stories.
Yeah, it's fine.
Did you have any superstitions when you were a player? Getting ready for games? Were you a superstitious type of guy?
Absolutely. Yes. To never do the same thing twice.
Really?
I changed it up all the time.
So you never wanted to follow the same routine?
I would wear the same undershirt. It was a high school shirt that I had, and I wore it all through college and even kept it to the NFL. But
I was wondering what that smell was, actually.
Well, I have it on the night. I think Ross Bowers has really stepped up and gotten back to the player we saw the first 3 weeks of the season as opposed to the last 3 weeks. He's been very smart with the football. Once again, we see him rolling outside the pocket, finding his target. He's been good tonight. I mean, he really has. He's early on, it looked like he was a little quick, a little early in some of his timing throws, but you've got to give Bo Baldwin a ton of credit, the offensive coordinator in his first year here at Cal, trusting in his quarterback. He told us he's earned this job. His teammates, we all have confidence that he's going to get this right. He worked a lot there in the week of practice, and it's really showing here this evening.
For Veazey, end zone, out of bounds. Had the ball but could not get it inbounds. That'll bring up 4th down. You mentioned Bo Baldwin, Santa Barbara native, but he calls Tacoma, Washington his hometown. That's where he won a 3A state title as a quarterback. Remember, he was the head coach for Eastern Washington. Remember the red turf, the Inferno? He was the head coach of that proud program that won an FCS national title 7 years ago. And remember, they beat Washington State to open the season in 2016. Matt Anderson makes it a 4-score lead. A pair of shockers on a Friday night. First Clemson, and now 7-13 away from Washington State.
Adam, Luke Falk came out of halftime with a glove on his left hand, and I'm told he's never worn this glove before. His hand is wrapped under that glove, and he keeps closing and opening his fist. He's taken some extra time throwing the ball and practicing with it. Now, Washington State does not give injury info, but there's definitely something off with him, and this glove and this hand issue he's having is new in the second half.
Yeah, that is a great call, Mo. Washington State does not disclose injury information in game. That is definitely something that could play a factor. Perhaps has played a factor all night. I mean, you pointed it out, Dusty, and not to assume that everything is based off that, but you pointed it out. He just hasn't looked like himself tonight.
He hasn't been himself. He hasn't been the guy that I've watched on tape all season. And we had him against USC 2 weeks ago, and he hasn't. And again, you got to give Cal's defense a ton of credit. They've got a great game plan. They've put a lot of pressure on him, forced him to make some tight throws, and really been an opportunistic defense that when the ball has been up in the air, they find a way to come down with it. And coming in tonight, you know, Luke Falk, according to our Heismanology, and myself included, I was actually saying, why isn't he higher on the list? I would have had him at 4 behind Baker Mayfield. And he was at a legitimate Heisman Trophy push going on, and you got to think that's taken some real hits here tonight with the performance he's put out there.
That is from Joe Tess's official Heismanology poll of ESPN voters. More pressure on Falk. Nice job getting away from it. Second down coming up. We give a little love to Bryce Love of Stanford. By the way, hope everything goes well in Palo Alto tomorrow as the Cardinal take on the Ducks. I know the same situation at the air quality could be a factor there tomorrow, but man,
the numbers he's putting up,
unreal, man.
Unheard of. I mean, it's just it's crazy how well he's played. And he stepped into that role. Christian McCaffrey departs, and just plug and play at Stanford as it goes with running back. Saquon Barkley has been tremendous this year in the kick game, receiving, limited rushing last week, and don't count out Baker Mayfield. I know that they had a loss last week, but he's still yet to throw an interception, having an extremely efficient year for the Sooners.
I always like seeing a good defensive player on there. Love that Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's, by the way, more than just a defensive player. He, like Barkley, you mentioned, so much special teams. That's a Nick Saban staple. He likes to throw his first-team players on both sides of the ball into special teams units.
I love seeing him on there, but let's be real. He's got no shot to win it. No one's going to vote for a defensive player.
Do you think
Not
it's
an offensive world?
What is that? Is that an indictment on college football today with the offensive?
I don't know if it's an indictment. I just think that, you know, chicks used to dig the long ball. Now chicks dig offense. Not just chicks, but Heisman voters. So I think that's the way it goes. I mean, the last defensive player was Charles Woodson back in '97.
Yeah, Peppers was on that list for a good chunk of the year, and he was the last defensive player a lot of us thought might actually have a legitimate shot until Lamar Jackson.
I thought Ndamukong Suh
Sure.
2008. I thought he was the best player in college football.
Yes.
I played with a guy back in the early 2000s, Roy Williams in 2001. Eric Crouch wins the Heisman. I can assure you, there wasn't a better player in the country than Roy Williams. So I love that Mink is getting the credit, but.
That ball is loose. It is scooped up. And Garin Brown in for the injured Devontae Downs is having a huge night.
Rolling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
And Downs, who had to leave this game with the injury, has seen Garin Brown step right into his spot and come up clutch after Jordan Kanashik punched it loose. What a night for the Cal defense.
I'll tell you what, Jordan Kanashik is having one whale of a night for this Cal Bear defense. You see him working on the blitz. Just an excellent job getting home, coming clean. It's a crossfire blitz and no one there to slow down Kanashik. Outstanding job getting the sack, getting the ball out. How about this stat line for Kanashik? 11 tackles, 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception. It keeps on coming for the Cal Bear defense. What a night. What an upset. Cal up by 34 here in Berkeley.
Welcome back to College Football Primetime as part of Dos Equis Tailgate Week. In the last 40 years, the only top 10 victory for the Cal Golden Bears came back in 2003. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in that game. Reggie Robertson came in and was sparkling, forcing triple overtime against Matt Leinart and the Trojans. That is the only top 10 win in the last 4 decades for Cal. They're 526 away from one tonight. The most sacks in a dozen years for this Cal defense. Justin Wilcox has a really good coaching staff around him. He's a defensive-minded coach. And when you're a defensive-minded coach who becomes a head coach, sometimes it might be hard to let go of the defense. I remember talking to Mac Brown about being an offensive coordinator, and he would tell me it was really difficult for him to give up the reins to the offense. Great pass to Kyle Sweet. Something that Mac made his money on was offense. And when he became a head coach, it was a little difficult for him to give up the reins. That can be tough for a coach stepping into the head coaching spot. But Justin Wilcox not only delegates, but man, he takes in information from a lot of sources, including Tim DeRuyter, a former head coach at Fresno State, who's now his defensive coordinator.
Collaborates with all of his coaches to come up with the right plan and way to steer the ship, and delegates a lot of responsibilities because he has a great trust in the staff that he has put together. And you're exactly right that it can be different. Some coaches do it. Mike Leach still calls plays. He's been calling plays for a long time, but there are so many more responsibilities as the head coach of a big-time college football program that it becomes difficult to micromanage and be able to really have a good pulse and have the time for what it takes to be able to call plays. So it's a credit to Justin Wilcox. He's found a D coordinator in Tim DeRuyter that he trusts. Now, I still think he has a big imprint in this defense, and talking to players, he's out there at practice, he's working with them, but you're exactly right. That trust he has in his staff and the ability to delegate responsibilities been a big key as to why they've had so much success. And hot potato, Cal's defense can do no wrong tonight. There's really nothing else to say as Quentin Tartable comes up with yet another Cal takeaway.
Tonight is going to be one of those nights when you look back at the 2017 season that helps define the 2017 college football season. On a night like tonight, where Clemson goes down and a top 10 Washington State team, one of the most prolific offenses in the country, gives the ball up 7 times, this is going to be one of those nights we look back on and remember as perhaps a signature night.
Let me guess. It's because it's Friday the 13th. Right?
You know what? You know what? You believe whatever you want to believe, brother. But the college football gods are an interesting bunch.
Overrated, say whatever you want to. I can guarantee you those words aren't going to sting anywhere nearly as bad as the actual result on the field and the pounding that Washington State has taken tonight from Cal.
This is one of the most impressive performances. I mean, what are we saying? This is the most impressive performance of the season, top to bottom, from Cal. Justin Wilcox said they'd seen flashes at various points of what this team could be. And tonight, it all came together.
That's right. That's what Justin Wilcox told us yesterday. He said at times, the first 3 games, we played well enough to win. We didn't play well the entire game, but we played well enough to get victories. And he said we played well at times, even against USC, against Oregon. He said we didn't play very well against Washington, but they've played well at times, but they had never put it all together. Justin Wilcox may look at this as, to this point, their masterpiece for this team, because they've put it together in all phases for an entire 4 quarters here this evening.
Ross Bowers had some struggles. He'd done a better job of keeping clean in terms of giveaways, but he'd been struggling a little bit. There were some calls to maybe go to another quarterback this week. But Bo Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, when we chatted with him yesterday, we asked him, what do you want to tell Ross? What's the message you want to give him? And he said, find the joy. Find the happiness. Find what made it fun for you when you were in 5th and 6th and 7th grade to play football. Find that emotional state, and the success may follow you. There has been a level of comfort that I don't think we've seen from Ross Bowers in at least a few weeks.
He said, be free and go play. And I really enjoyed listening to Bo Baldwin talk about that. And you know what he said? He said, I have to remember that too as a coach. I've got to remember about the joy and why we love playing football. And I think you're exactly right. They seem like the pressure was gone. They just kind of let it go, and they came out and played an outstanding game here this evening. Credit to this staff, a credit to these players, and you've got to be happy for Ross Bowers exercising some demons here at home against a really good Washington State defense.
Gerard Wicks with Tyler Helinski in the game at QB. Mike Leach will have to regroup. They're back home next Saturday night against Colorado. Well, Cal will be 2 wins away from bowl eligibility and Justin Wilcox's first season as a head coach. It has been a rocky week here in Berkeley, California. It has been a tough time for the Bay Area, and Justin Wilcox told us, I hope that the 4 hours we're on the field on Friday night can be a bit of an escape, a release for the students here in Berkeley, for people who live in Berkeley, for people who are in Sonoma County and Napa County. Maybe this gives them a little bit of an escape from the terrible stuff that's gone on over the course of this week with all the wildfires and the aftermath of it. And on one Friday night here in Berkeley, California, the Cal Golden Bears come away with one of the great wins in the last 4 decades in the rich history of this college football program.
And where does Washington State Mike Leach go from here? Do you learn from it? Do you get better from it? My guess is they will. This is a good football team. I believe in Mike Leach. I believe in Luke Falk in this offense. And I think Alex Grinch does have a solid defense. They walked into a buzzsaw here tonight at Cal. They weren't ready to play. Cal was. And they beat up on them. But you go back to the drawing board. We talked to Mike Leach about the process. He never gets too high. He never gets too low. and they'll go back to work on Monday to get ready for Colorado and still try to get in this Pac-12 championship race after this difficult loss.
One of the biggest wins in the last 40 years for the Cal Golden Bears, all part of one wild Friday night. Once again, our final score, Cal 47, Washington State 3. For Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, the wonderful women and men of our crew here in Berkeley, Adam Amin saying so long for now. Sports Center in 15 seconds.